Hi guys,
Hi.
welcome to the channel, and we're starting a new little mini series. This is an adventure we hope is going to be absolutely fantastic. We're here in northern Portugal. We're in a place called Chaves, and you've heard of Route 66, the famous route across America from coast to coast. You've probably also heard of the NC 500, which is the circular route around Scotland. Well, here in Portugal they also have a route called the N2, and the route was built originally in 1945, and it goes from the very top of Portugal at Chaves all the way down to Faro on the south coast. It's about 739 kilometres, and there's all sorts of historic, interesting places to see along the route. So we start here on this roundabout, and then we head off in this direction down here, all the way to the south of Portugal. Now also here, just in the corner there, is a really nice trendy bar called the Zero-Kilometre bar. We went in there last night for a couple of drinks.
Yeah, it was a
with
nice bar.
Roy and Maria. We had a good
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
didn't we? Yeah. And we're just going to pop up to the souvenir shop, because here you can pick up a passport. It gives you the whole route, ideas of things to visit, and when you go to each location they will give you a stamp in the passport to say that you've been there, and it's a souvenir that you can keep of the trip. So yeah, hopefully it's going to be a great time, and
Something a little different.
yeah, different, and a great way of exploring the country, seeing all the history and the culture, and sampling some of the food. And yeah,
Had a
we're
good,
really looking forward to it.
good
So,
time with that last night.
let's jump in the van, let's
And
get
let's go.
going. So we're just about to start the trip down on the N2. We're in Chaves, and we're right at the 0-kilometre roundabout. Just about to go around the roundabout to the start of this trip, all the way down from northern Portugal right the way down to the south coast. 738 kilometres. Just going around the roundabout now. A couple of cyclists or motorbikes on the roundabout there. They're obviously going to start the trip today as well. It's a very popular route that people do from north of Portugal to south Portugal. So if you're over here and you're looking for something interesting to do, this is definitely one trip to consider. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you can be regular videos of the whole route all the way down, all the sights that we see along the way. Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic way to look at Portugal, and something different to just sitting on the beach. So yeah, come along with us and hope you enjoy the trip.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me.
The first part of our trip is just a short drive from Chaves, 20 minutes down to the spa town of Vidago.
City lights looking fine, and I know this is my time now. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive.
So the first place that we've stopped at on this N2 tour is the Vidago Palace Hotel. Absolutely stunning building you can see in the background here. I'll give you a better look in a minute. And all through this region, they're all on a thermal spring through here, so there's a lot of thermal spas through this area. So very luxurious hotel. We've been allowed to just pop in here for 30 minutes just to do a little bit of filming, Yeah, it's an amazing building. I'll give you a better look around. So now on our first stop on this N2 trip, it's a perfect opportunity to introduce you to our hosts for this trip, or for the first section of this trip anyway.
Yeah.
And a lot of you will recognise these guys from our first trip when we came to Portugal. We met Roy and Maria, and you guys were obviously following us.
Yeah.
You've done your own van conversion.
Yes.
And if you look at the videos that we did before on our first trip, we did a tour of your van. So yeah, you can go and check that out. But these guys have kindly agreed to meet us here in northern Portugal, tell us a little bit of the history of this trip and start us on our journey down.
Yeah. More than welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. No, it's absolutely fantastic to see you, because we haven't seen you for a couple of years, have we?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Since
yeah.
COVID.
it's nice to catch up.
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
So,
I hope you enjoy the trip down.
yeah, I'm sure
the
we
N2.
will. Yeah,
The
I'm
N2.
sure we will.
You can all visit the N2. It's very nice to visit.
So in some of the places that you'll visit, they'll actually stamp your passport, but here at the hotel they've got a little plaque on the visitors sign, and we've got to actually do like an old brass rubbing. So I've got my pencil here. I'll try and keep this still, and then we should be able to, hopefully, well, I don't know, is it coming out? I think I kind of got it. Right, onwards. Got back in the van for another short trip down the N2. Only 15 minutes to the spa town of Pedras Salgadas, the source of a very special mineral water. Okay, we're going inside.
Yeah, we're going inside.
Here at Pedro Salgadas, there's a beautiful nature park. In the heart of the park, there's a luxury spa resort, which is open to the public. But we've come here to look for the source of this famous spring water. One of the very few places where the water that comes out of the ground here is naturally fizzy. So the bubbles that you see in the tank there, that's not being put into the water. That's, you know, it naturally comes out of the ground fizzy. So when you drink it, it feels very slightly carbonated, like little micro bubbles that you can feel on your tongue. and also a lot of iron in the water, which they've got a factory here that bottles it. Anywhere in Portugal you can ask for this water that comes from here. Yeah, fascinating. I hope you might be able to see in the bottom of the glass there the little bubbles forming inside the water. Also located in the park are these really futuristic eco houses which you can stay in if you visit the thermal spa. Looks like something out of War of the Worlds. So after visiting the first 2 stops on the N2, we called into the local tourist information office to get another stamp in our passport. Good morning everybody. A beautiful sunny morning it is here in Portugal, and this is the campsite where we stayed last night. We're about 40 kilometres from Chaves and in a region called Vidago, and the local council here, I believe, have built this campsite here. Reportedly, I think they spent about 3 million euros on it, and it's set in amongst these pine trees in the middle of the countryside. Beautiful surroundings. There's an absolutely stunning lake just over the road there that you can walk around, and country park, little cafe there. Very pretty spot, and all the buildings here are built in this local stone, and yeah, we're parked over there. It's very reasonable, this campsite. It's got excellent facilities. We only paid 12 euros off season for the van and 2 adults, including all the services. You can pay an additional 3 euros for electricity, but we haven't needed that, so obviously we've got enough solar. There are a lot of trees around here, so sometimes if you're parked in the shade you might struggle with the solar, but as I say, the electricity is only 3 euros. So yeah, let me give you a tour of the facilities here. So as you can see, most of the pitches are set amongst the pine trees here in this little sort of forest. There's the van just parked there. In the distance you might be able to see just one other van here with us, so very, very quiet. And it's only the beginning of October, just in the off season. And then just over the back there, I'll take a closer look in a second, there are some little holiday cottages, again made out of the same stone with thatched roofs. And here, absolutely beautiful pool. There's a bar and cafe behind the pool. In the distance in the trees there's a big restaurant as well, but I think the restaurant is mainly open during the high season, so if you come later in the year that may not be here. But what a fantastic campsite, and super reasonable. Let me go and show you the facilities, because as I say, it's only just been built, so it's lovely, absolutely beautiful, clean. There's the van there, parked in amongst the trees, and you can hear how quiet it is. I can maybe just hear the main road in the distance, but very quiet in the background. All these buildings in the middle here, these are all the toilets, the showers, the washrooms. There is water and a chemical toilet facility here. Let's just nip into the washrooms, I'll show you these. Here we go. So you have kitchen sinks here, another kitchen sinks there. There's hand washing facilities by the window there, dryers and normal domestic washing machines. And it's 3 euros for a wash and 3 euros for a dry, so again, very reasonable. I'll take you quickly into the gents. Hopefully nobody's there because it's very quiet. Okay, as you can see, all very nice, lovely clean wash hand basins, and individual private walk-in showers. Yeah. Seating area. Loads and loads of hot water. Lockers here. More seating. Yeah. And yeah, super architecture on these stone buildings. Very well done. Yeah. Okay, let's bring you back outside in the sunshine. Recycling facilities. Yeah. It's a baby changing area. Disabled toilets there. Chemical sluice for the chemical toilet. We have our washing on the line there, drying in the sunshine. A few t-shirts. And then at the back here, at the back of the campsite, there's a communal seating and barbecue area. So if you're not that comfortable with wild camping, the campsites here do offer fantastic facilities at a very, very reasonable rate. So there's tables and chairs here. There are barbecues just here for you to do your cooking. And again, sinks for your washing up or preparation. Yeah, what a fantastic spot. And for €12 a night, it's an absolute bargain. You've got free use of the pool. Yeah, and can stay in these beautiful surroundings. I took some aerial shots of the lake and we had a walk around there yesterday. So I'll just show you a little montage of the lake here now. Yeah, enjoy. That campsite there was absolutely beautiful. I think it's a fairly new build, so all the services are really clean, spotless. But it's a lovely location and super economical as well with that price. So yeah, do check that one out. I'll put all the details in the description below where that is, so you can find it for yourself. The one good thing about coming down this N2 route is it takes you off the beaten track, and you get to see a lot more scenery than you would do if you was on the main toll roads or the highway. And the section that we've just come through there, I'll put some footage up. They've obviously had some major fires, you know, all over this region for miles and miles. Everywhere you see when you look up in the mountains is all black and burnt out. And just the start of the new growth, the heathers coming back. So yeah, it must have been quite devastating when that was happening. And if you're living in these properties right next to those raging fires, that must be pretty scary, I should imagine. We're heading on our way now down to Virgoe and to the Palace of Mateus, the famous winemakers. You'll have seen for years and years. I can remember the famous shape of their bottles that they bottle their wine in. So it's right on the N2 in Virgoe, and yeah, it'll be a really nice place to go and have a look around. So we're going to stop there, have a bit of lunch and have a look around the palace. Maybe get a bottle or two, who knows. So it's €10 to have a walk around the palace gardens and look at the palace from outside. You can get into the souvenir shop and the cafeteria and the wine house on that ticket for €10. Or if you want to have a look inside the palace, then you must do it on a guided tour, and they operate tours in different languages, and obviously there's an additional charge for that. Let me turn the camera around and you can see what we're looking at. So, an interesting fact, the lady in the shop was just telling us about the history of the place, and that in fact the famous Mateus wine that you see in the nicely shaped bottles has never ever been produced here. And in fact the family back in the 40s actually just sold the rights to use the image of the house on the bottles. So the wine, funnily enough, has never been produced here, and it's not even sold here. So you know, the famous shaped bottles that you can get in the supermarkets everywhere in the world doesn't come from here, not from Mateus. So yeah, there you go, that's interesting. So yeah, we can't get a bottle today, but we can sample some of the local Sauvignon and some of the other produced wines of this region, but not the one in that famous bottle. And I think she went on to say that the wine is actually mass produced in a factory, I believe in a place called Gaia. I'll have to confirm that, and I'll put the name here. But yeah, it's a factory produced wine, mass produced on a daily basis. But yeah, beautiful gardens here, look. So they don't do the Mateus rosé wine or the white wine, obviously, at the palace. But just across the road, there's a little souvenir shop here. If you want to get a bottle, they sell them here. And the chap in the ticket office at the palace was able to give us a stamp in a passport. Join us in the next episode when we take a trip up the Douro Valley for a spot of lunch by the river. We climb over 600 steps to see a beautiful Baroque chapel, and Roy gets me to cook a Portuguese classic. So please make sure that you're subscribed because you don't want to miss the next episode. Thanks for watching. Cheers.